this is a plank matrix for a reverse C-curve. So you imagine he's got a C-curve like this. So the apex is down here. Now the apex is the longer side, right? So what we want to do is strengthen the longer side by using those muscles to lift his hips up into a side plank. So go ahead and go into a side plank. Perfect. Okay, so he's using these muscles down here, which are on the longer side of his curve, to get him into this position. Go back down. So that's the first thing we want to do, but we're going to turn it into a matrix. So we've got 3 planes of movement. So we've got the frontal plane, sagittal plane, and transverse plane. You ready for this? So I just got to tell you something. He doesn't actually know what we're going to do. He doesn't know how many different combinations we have. So we'll just see how he gets on. All right, so the first thing is he's going to lift his hips up. Now he's going to drop them up, down and up in the frontal plane. So he's exercising these muscles. Perfect. See if you can stay up. Now what we're going to do is move in the sagittal plane. Just move your hips forwards and backwards. So he's doing a bit slower, a forwards, backwards movement with his hips here. Now we've got to go the transverse plane. So just rotate your hips left and right. Perfect. Good. So he's rotating his hips. This is fantastic. Come back down. All right. You okay? Uh-huh. So that is like the pelvis is the driver. The pelvis is the thing that's doing the movements. But we can actually make the pelvis move subconsciously by getting his arm to move. So get back into that position. So the first thing we're going to do is frontal plane. It's going to take your hand up over your head and reach up this way as far as you can. Reach up, your hips come up. Now bring your elbow down to your wrist, hip here. Good. So now he's going up and down in the frontal plane. Next one, we're going to move in the sagittal plane. Put your hand out in front of you and do a big arc up over your head here. Good. Push your pelvis forwards. No, don't worry about your legs. Push your pelvis forwards. All right, we're gonna give him a second here. Okay, come back up. So you're here, your pelvis goes backwards. Here, your pelvis goes forwards. That's it. Good. So elbows back, pelvis back. So his pelvis is moving kind of subconsciously due to his arm movements. Good, and down. Next one is the transverse plane. We're just going to take your arm over and back, over and back. Okay. So here you're going forwards and back. Excellent. Now we're getting that nice rotation down to his pelvis, just being driven by his arm. Good, and stop. All right then, so now we're going to do the same thing with the leg as the driver. So he's going to go up into the plank, he's going to go up and down with his legs. Good, so he's working hard in the frontal plane. Now he's going to bring his legs forwards and backwards. Try not to kick me though. This is his hips going forwards and backwards in the sagittal plane. Lastly, he's going to rotate now. So one more, ready? You're going to take your foot down, touch the ground here, and then come back, touch the ground here. So got rotation. Yeah, that's it. Rotation. It's good. Rotation. Good. And then back down. All right. So that's the leg as the driver, but he's not finished yet. You're not finished. Get back into position. You can do this with a leg and a hand driver. Now, this isn't easy, as you'll see. This is tough. Well, what we're going to do, the first one, we're going to do the sagittal plane first. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring your knee up to here and your elbow to here, like in this kind of motion like this. And then back. Okay, ready? So sagittal plane driver, there, excellent, and back. Just do a couple. Good, and then stop. Next one we're going to do is a frontal plane driver. So this one you're going to be like up and down like this, okay? So frontal plane driver, yes, this is really working these muscles on the long side of the curve. Good, and stop. Okay, so the last one is the transverse plane. You're going to take one foot forward and one arm backwards. This is kind of the easiest way to remember it, and then you're going to swap them. So we've got a bottom up, top down transverse plane movement coming into his core. Now this is tough. This is hard. This is not for the first time out. The first time out you can actually even do a regression where you do the whole thing just onto your knees like this. But we didn't do that. We went straight through to the hardest exercises there, top down, bottom up, all 3 planes for a reverse C-curve scoliosis. Go on and give that one a go. So if you find this useful, don't forget to click and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my latest videos. Also, if you're looking for programs where you have these simple principles mapped out to help you, then check out edpaget.com. And lastly, if you want me to discuss or film a certain video, just leave a message in the comments there and I'll get to that in the next weeks and months ahead.